Okay. Jimmy's here. Never fear, Jimmy's here. It's 12:30. It's Friday. It's April 12th. And there's all kinds of things to talk about. Don't even know where to begin. Let's begin somewhere. Of course, you can hear epidemic sound instrumental or royalty-free background music. You can see our digital readouts here. It's 85.5 degrees outside, and it's 68.5 degrees in our studio here. Studio 812. How about that? Let's, producer, let's change the, there we go. We got a 50% view. Get my ladybug in there. There you go. You see the ladybug hanging under the scissors over there? So as you know, I oftentimes I clip these images and put them in my photo album, and it gives me a reminder of what to talk about certain things. Now, I'm going to talk about something that's interesting for people that like to wear headphones. I like to wear headphones, particularly, at night when instead of having the TV, with all the flashing lights and everything going on with the TV screen, which would disturb Marilyn sleeping, because she's probably asleep by the time I put on these headphones like this. But they look like this. They're Sony headphones. They're outstanding, by the way. So I have black ones, or dark blue. They're very dark blue, I think. These aren't. Yeah, these are very dark blue, but they look black. And I put a little piece of tape on this side to remind me that this is the left side. There's a little tiny L there, but when it's nighttime, I can just rub on that and I know it's left. It keeps it simple. Nice fluffy cushions. Anyway, Sony has just come out with a new pair of headphones for $200. They're available in white or black, and they're called the ULT Wear headphones. So you see like here, you just go like that and hit look up, and look at that. It's going right to looking them up. And these are what they are, the Sony. I mean, we're right online here. How about that? Pretty cool, huh? Sony ULT Wear headphones. And the exciting thing about this is that they have, Sony's not going to give you something that's terrible. They really care about their sound design. A lot of, audio engineers and studios wear Sony headphones. They could wear Sennheiser headphones. I like their boom microphone. But they have a redesign, you can see in here. Refined design, great sound. They have a little ULT button. That's right here, and you can just press on that, and you get, unbelievable bass boost, if that's what, but they're really worth a try. Amazon, everybody's got them for $200 a pair. Instead of, $429 or $399, it's $200. And you get, You see, there it is. There's that ULT button I was talking about. They're really well designed. I mean, these guys, you know, I have to have all the different things that people can buy out there, consumer-wise. Sony has just come out with these new headphones. There's the 12th. Look at that. Carlson. So the second, this is the third round. No, this is the second round of the Masters tournament in Augusta, Georgia. This is a picture looking, that's the tee box. So you got the 12th green. Look at that. Where's the flag is probably behind the so you're looking at the, oh yeah, you're looking at the 12th green or the 13th tee. That's a combination view, and you can see the azalea bushes. The setting is really quite breathtaking. If you're wondering what's going on with gas prices, look at that. Gas prices in California. Supreme gasoline, $7.18.9 a gallon. I mean, California is, you know, they have like at least $1 gasoline tax. My daughter just filled up in Washington, D.C., $5 a gallon. Crazy. Here it's about $3.80 a gallon. I don't think Florida adds, you know, maybe they have 10-cent gas tax, not $1.50. Whatever. All right, well, you got all the news agencies saying that Iran is going to attack Israel with lots of drone strikes and missiles aimed at military targets inside Israel. And Iran is praying about that. So that, I'm sure, has got the stock market going crazy. Let's see if we can take a peek at the stock market, see what the NYSE is. Oh, rats. There we go. Oh, yeah, down 460 points today. Tesla is down to 171. Amazon 186. I'm looking over here at this screen over here. Let's turn down the brightness so maybe you can see it too. Yeah. But that's the Dow Jones. Let's do that's the 1 day look. So this is the 1230. You see where it is at 1230. I can do an expando here. You can't see it too well, I'm sorry, but turn this way and you can see it's gone straight down for the day. Let's look at a 5-day view, and up and down and up and down and down. So important thing is that scale right there. You know, interest rates are crazy. Inflation here is, you know, edging up. Now you got maybe a war between Iran and Israel. That means we're going to have to get involved to help defend Israel. And Israel is not afraid of attacking when it needs to, and it's got the targets figured out. So Iran wants to play. I wouldn't play chicken with Israel. Now Iran says, well, we're striking you back because you struck us. I mean, that's what they all say. You know, you hit me first, so I'm going to hit you back. Well, they've been financing the Houthis they've been giving missiles at the Houthis, and the Houthis, lobbing missiles. So, I wasn't doing it. It was the Houthis doing it. Yeah, well, who's the missile? They're Iranian missiles or drones or whatever. Yeah. So this weekend could be, a real problem for us and Israel. And we're not exactly overflowing with extra weaponry because we've been shipping him to, the whole Ukraine thing. So, when you ship over millions of artillery rounds, that means we don't have them. And they're big, they're 155 millimeter. It's definitely a 30 or 40 pounder that you have to carry. You don't want to drop it or you could go boom. They blast them out of these artillery cannons, and then when they hit the target, they explode. They don't just blow a hole in something. They literally have an explosive tip, so to speak. And they set the tip, and they put it in the artillery thing, and bam! That thing, shoots. I don't know what the muzzle velocity is. 1,000 feet per second or more. And it, travels 15 miles and it hits the target. And of course they have sighting, they got GPS, they have all this technology now. They can fly it in a window, and then the window goes boom. Well, that's what Israel did. Right here. Israel took out an embassy, or the building next to the embassy. Yeah. Oh, Lordy. So, that's a real problem. Now here's talking about the Masters for a second, right? John Rahm, who won it last year, well, he just unleashed an epic F-bomb tirade on the 18th tee yesterday evening. This drive goes and ends up in the woods. He's the guy that won the Masters last year, and if the wheels come off the court, these guys, they get a little excited, emotional and uptight. They've got to be on their game. They have to, zero in. I don't know whether you know this or not, but this is Happy National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day. Oh, look at that. Does that look like with a little cup of probably tomato soup? Oh, my mother used to make me grilled cheese sandwiches. Marilyn makes me grilled cheese sandwiches. I love grilled cheese sandwiches. Now, I don't like, a huge amount of cheese. I would rather have, one slice of cheese in the sandwich, filling up the whole sandwich. And this looks like nice homemade bread. And have 3 sandwiches. Then have one sandwich that's, like super thick cheese. I'd rather have 3 sandwiches with 1 slice of cheese. Oh, my God. I don't know how many sandwiches I could eat. It's definitely more than 2 with 1 slice of cheese. Everyone, Marilyn, she would rather have, huge amounts of cheese. My son was just telling me, I got it on my watch, that Homer is 700, his round so far, which is catching up to her. Scotty Scheffler, that's who I'm rooting for. Okay, look at this. This iPhone SE4 specs have been leaked, and it seems to be too good to be true. Here's a mock-up of iPhone 16. The rumor mill has it. Apple is expected to launch the iPhone 16 lineup this September. And the iPhone 17 series is slated to arrive in 2025. That's what we know. And next year's lineup could be packing a 2 nanometer chip. 2 nanometers thick. Which means it's faster, it's smaller. I mean, 2 millionths of a meter. I mean, please. That's like 1/100th of the human hair. I mean, they're because they're make them thin. They've been it used to be 24 nanometers. Then 18 nanometers. Then Well, I think the phone I have is 3 nanometers thick. Well, that's not thick. That's super, super, super thin. And so if you go from 3 nanometers to 2 nanometers, you just decrease the thickness by 50%. I mean, wow. Or actually 3 to 2. That would be like a 33% drop in thickness. It's unheard of. With those, have all these transistors, just so thin. Oh, God. But because they're thin like that, they're super efficient, and they don't generate so much heat. Heat is the inefficiency of an engine, according to Newton's theory. Sir Isaac Newton. The notion of enthalpy. Enthalpy. E-N-T-H-L. Enthalpy. If an engine runs hot, they actually measure the amount of heat in calories that an engine throws off, which includes the heat that's thrown off through the radiator, that whole, you trap all that heat and measure it. The more heat, the less efficient that engine is, meaning there's too much friction, the mixture of the fuel isn't quite right, it's burning hot, burning cold, whatever. The idea is the amount of heat a machine throws off is its inefficiency. Like a light bulb, for example, is 99% efficient at producing light. In producing heat, not light. The regular incandescent lamp bulb is only like 0.5% efficient in producing light, but 99% efficient in producing heat. So your regular light bulb is a great source of heat. You reflect it, so forth. And I'm being a little silly, but I'm not about the inefficiency of the light bulb. Now, the LED light bulb, that's about, like 30% efficient in producing light. Whoa, that's 60, 70, 100 times more efficient than an incandescent light bulb. That's why everybody likes them. Because you can screw in an LED light bulb, even though it's 2 or 3 times more expensive, one-time shot to buy the bulb, but it uses like 1/100th of the electricity A 5-watt light bulb is the equivalent. A 5-watt LED light bulb is equivalent to a 100-watt incandescent light bulb in the amount of light it throws off. But you didn't know that. We have some LED lights in our living room, and they're connected to Alexa. I have to whisper that because those devices are listening for that word. Let's try this. Computer, what time is it?
It's 12:50 p.m.
See, now in my little studio, I have those things set for a computer. So if I use the word computer, that thing starts talking to me behind me. You could probably barely hear it, but I heard it. It said 12:50 p.m. Computer, where are we?
You're on 101 Plaza Real S Apartment 812 in Boca Raton, Florida.
Okay. They found me. Interesting, huh? Here's a little piece of extraneous news. Like when you pick up a bag of donuts in the store, and you look at where the scanning label is, and it tells you how many calories, how much vitamin C, as a standard black and white rectangular panel. I don't have one. I don't see one around me, but you look at your milk. It has that black and white panel on the side of the milk container, or the cream, half and half, whatever. And it says how many grams of fat and the percentage. And it's a standard way of looking at what's going on with the stuff that you eat. Broadband. Broadband are required to have nutritional type labels, and now it's now mandatory. It started this week. The FCC, I guess it is, they've gone through, they're arguing about this with the cable companies and all this stuff for 2 years, and then they have the public opinion, public notice, and then you can express your opinion about the law and so forth. And all of a sudden, the law goes into effect. Well, it's in effect. So now when you go to Xfinity or this and that, if anything that has to do with your broadband, you're going to be able to see one of those labels, and it's going to tell you how many bits per second, if there's any throttling, there's certain standard, if what are you paying for that speed, because you got a variety of different speeds you can subscribe for, and if you have a package deal for a certain period of time, what is it? What pricing are you going to get when the special 2-year pricing expires? Then what are you going to go to? And they have to recite it, and they'll have a star there, subject to whatever. But they have to. There's no more hocus pocus with that, because they're going to have every broadband provider has to now have nutritional type labels associated with the pricing of everything that they do with regard to their broadband service. So that's a good thing, I think. I mean, I didn't like having to deal with it. I own part of a company that was manufacturing and delivering stuff to the public, and you had to have the label, and it's got to be approved, and you got to get it right, or else, you know, you can subject to litigation. You know, it's such a headache. All right, here's something that picked up off of the news power rankings, the Fox News power rankings. Excuse me while I choke. And right now, you've got, this is the states, you know, you got the red states and the blue states. And this is the Electoral College, you know. 269 to 269, you got a tie vote. Then it goes to the Chamber of Commerce. The House of Representatives, the Chamber of Commerce. No, not that chamber. The House of Representatives then holds an election, so to speak, and they decide who the president's going to be. So if you've got more Republicans than Democrats, hopefully they all vote for whoever got the 251. Yeah. Anyway, there are 46 electoral votes apparently considered too close to call. Call them toss-ups. You can see the 270 to win. And there's only 10 electoral votes separating the two candidates. 241 on the blue side, the Biden side, and 251 on the Trump side. There are candidates, you know, that are going to be candidates. They're candidates-elect, so to speak. They got the required amount, the majority amount of, you know, in their party to have them win the nominations, you know, in the primary elections. But they haven't had their actual meeting where they say, you know, they can't, you know, 10 electoral votes for Iowa, you know, and the states, and they have their flags, and they all cheer and all that, and they count up all their delegates. Big production. It's kind of exciting, you know. Been watching that since I'm 16 years old, you know. And now I'm crowding 80. I'm getting terribly close to 80. Will he make it? Well, somebody that we all know well didn't make it. O.J. Simpson passed away of prostate cancer. There's a whole article about why men keep prostate cancer a secret. Because, you know, they don't want to be talking about their pee-pee. Yeah. Here's a picture of a Tesla right here. We got our new Tesla. We turned in the 2021 model Tesla, which we gained control of. It's a lease. We didn't buy it. We signed a lease for it, you know. It's almost buying it, but someone else got the title. You got the payments. But at the end of 3 years, you just hand over your keys, which are the cards, actually, in the world of Tesla. They have the card neatly embedded in this little plastic container. a silicone container. Yes, it is. So that, but your phone is your key in the world of Tesla. They register your phone, with a little hocus pocus inside the car. You put your key card down underneath your armrest, and you do your phone app, and then your phone is your key. And you leave the app, like when you shrink up your, let's say you're watching that, and you just slide your finger up a little bit, and then these are the apps that you have, like open, close the clock down. Oops. You can swipe up on it, get rid of it. Swipe up on that, get rid of it. There's my messages. Gold is up to $2,400 an ounce. I told everyone I know, please buy gold. No one listens to Jimmy. All right, there's my blood sugar. Look at that. Woo, 87. I tell you what, this Ozempic is magical. How it controls your blood glucose levels. And your A1C, comes crashing down, which is a good thing. I can show you here. You can just about see. Let's see if I can show you on here, because then we have electronic view. Okay, there it is right here. I can recognize the logo for the icon. There it is. There we go. So you can see the same thing when I see it on here. Okay, 87. It's pretty bright on here, but you can see it right here very nicely. It went as high as 173, 174, and got down early this morning, down in the 60 something. 87. It's amazing. It connects to this little doodad you have on your arm, on the back of your arm, which has got self-sealing glue on it. And it's got a little poker that sticks under your subcutaneous, constantly measuring your blood glucose level. So it's 88. It goes up a little bit because I have a little sweet, hot sweet tea with a little cream in it, which I wet my whistle with periodically. Anyway, so my blood sugar is... I was grabbing this phone because we can get reports. Let's see what my GMI is, which is the equivalent of your A1C. Let's see right here. 6.2. They did a blood test on me, and they said my A1C was 11. Woo! That's like a two-arm fire, You don't want to do that because things start falling off if so I became a diabetes candidate, if you will. Oh yeah, he's a candidate. Shoot the sucker. No. So, anyway, I immediately went on a regimen of having this CGM, continuous glucose monitoring, in my arm, so I could see my blood glucose at all times. See, it just went from 87 to 88 to 89. Every time I take a little sip of this tea, whoop, it goes up another point. That's okay. We got lots of room for improvement. Anyway, so we got our new Tesla 2024 Model Y Tesla, and it rides beautifully. You can see it here. It's actually not red. I colored it red. You can pick colors if you want to. So I picked red. See, your phone is your key. See that right there in the middle? We can't find your vehicle. Well, it's on my iPad. See, my phone is over there. See? But I can log on to the same your phone is your key thing. I won't start the car with my iPad. Location, look at this. Where's Marilyn? She's at 661 Northwest 63rd Street. Where's that? Oh, I know where she's at. It's 1 o'clock. She's at, what do you call it? She's at her Rotary Luncheon. Parked in the parking lot there. It automatically shows you where the charging stations are, in case you need a fill up, so to speak. 2.8 miles away. Got a little fill up right there in Deerfield. There's even a closer one than that. So she's at the Rotary Luncheon. Good for her. She loves the Rotary Luncheons. Every once in a while, depending on who the guest is, like Dr. Henry Lee came down from the University of Connecticut. And there you are. See the version ratio of, if you can see it on the very bottom, 736 miles is our odometer reading. And the software version in the computer, in the car, is version 11.1. 24.8.7. I can do a print screen of that. And we can look at that. I can do an expando on that. So you can see it in big print instead of trying to squint to see that. So you can say done, save it to photos, and come over here and then shoot that down, go to photos. There it is. See, now you can see it better. I can do a little edit on there and turn the black level up. See that? We can brighten it up. There we go. Now look how that looks. Perfect. You can touch on release notes and it tells you all about what's in 24.8.7. It's minor tune-ups and things. Not tune-ups, but minor bug fixes and so forth. They send out an update of their software, like every 2 weeks. It enhances the security so no one can drive off with your car, by tricking the system into thinking they're the driver when you're the driver. See, only Meryl and I are authorized to drive the car. And we have our phones. And if we lose our phones, then we can use our you can almost see the black card inside this in the case made out of silicone. I got my business card. Which you can see right there. You see that logo thing. This is the logo thing. Yep, got my logo right in there. Look at that. In living color. It looks like a tripod with a camera on the top. A digital camera, of course. See that? Quality digital imaging. 416-1100.com. You can see the web address right there. 416- not dot. 416-1100.com. You go there and you see all kinds of pictures we've taken over a 20-year period of time. We've had 26 million page hits on that site. 26 million people have seen stuff from all over. I can actually tell where they see from. And it's about 150 different countries have looked at our website. I mean, that's like insane. I can touch it right here, and I can show you. I will show you. Let's get rid of that so we have a little bigger view. There's one of my favorite polo shots. Yeah, look at that. They clicked their mallets. And there's a special name for that clicking, and I have to look that up. But so I go to the bottom. See, these are all the galleries. Like I can click right here, and we can see Grandma's original chicken in a pot soup. Look at that. I got a picture of all kinds of veggies. There you go. Grandma's original chicken in a pot. So I laid out, here's my pot. That makes sense, right? And I'll touch that right there. We'll get an expando view of that picture. And you can see the oil, the garlic, the instant gourmet Italian seasoning, which I use. I got onions chopped up over there. I got carrot pieces there, all scrubbed up. Celery, including the green tips on the top of the celery. I chopped that all up too. It's wonderful when you put that in soup. There's some aromatics over there on the right side. Little copper cup. Anyway, that's my pot. That's the veggies. See, there's the celery with the chopped up tops of the inside. We have the green stalks coming up in the middle. I chop it. I keep all that. It adds a wonderful, celery flavor to the soup. Plus, you have the pieces of celery. And of course, you got to put that in right. See, there's a scrub brush. You scrub those carrots and get rid of all the dirt off of the exterior. I'd rather scrub them instead of, slicing off the exterior, because that's where all the vitamins and minerals are. That's unscrubbed, scrubbed. You see how nice and clean those carrots look? They're unscrubbed and they're scrubbed. So, and then you can dice them up any way you want. There you go. See, I've diced them up. Throw them in the soup, so that way the theory is to get all the veggies to cook at the same length of time. Let's say 40 minutes. So that way, carrots take a little longer to get tender than celery, so you want these slices to be slightly thinner than these chunks, because this takes a little bit longer, but if the slices are thinner, they cook faster. I think everybody that knows how to cook knows that. Here's my little slicing knife. You can see over the edge of it. All right, chef's knife, whatever. This cut up onions. I have 3 different size cuts of onions. A finely cut over on the left, and then there are middle-sized pieces, and then I have pieces that have, like they're quarter onion slivers. So that when you cook it all up, you have all the onion isn't the same. Here we're chopping up parsley into. You don't chop it all at one time. You put a certain amount of parsley in there, and you chop, hand chop, and then these are little piles. You sweep them all together and put them in the. So that's chopped parsley in that little container in the right side. Anyway, chicken in a pot soup. Yeah. Let's go back. Got a bunch of pictures, and there is a story. Read more. So I have a little, directions along with the recipe. Start by sautéing 5 heaping tablespoons of chopped garlic, and you saute it in 8 tablespoons, which is a quarter cup of olive oil. And you saute that garlic up until it just turns a golden hue, according to my instructions there. And then when that happens, see scrubbed, not skinned, tablespoon-sized carrots. You put them in, and you start to saute them up. Then you add 12 to 16 ounce size washed celery, 16 ounces of chopped onions. Lightly saute this mixture for about 20 minutes. Par cooking only. You may add, 8 ounces of water or so. You remember in that copper cup there was a little flask in there full of distilled water. That was about 9 ounces of distilled water, so you can use up to 8 ounces of water to help steam the veggies. You don't have to be dried in the oil. When the par cooking is done, then see, the veggies cook slower than the chicken, so you want to par cook the veggies so that when you put the chicken in there with the water and it all boils up together, the chicken meat will be cooked right about the time when all the veggies have finished cooking. See, so you par cook the veggies first. Anyway, so you add 5 quarts of purified water, not tap water. It's soup. You want high quality water. Tap water is just on the edge of terrible. It's legal, but it's not good. I've looked at the analysis of tap water that public utilities have to publish periodically, at least annually. And they're right on the edge of you don't want to drink it. It's not like drinking out of a canal or something or other, but it's which might be even better, depending on where your canal is. But it's high in the Rocky Mountains, and drink some of that spring water. That'd be a good thing. But anyway, so you use high quality. I use very high quality purified water or distilled water. Better yet. No flavor, no poisoning the flavor of your soup with distilled water. So, bring to a soft boil using high heat. You want to get it up to boiling temperature right away. Then you turn the heat down because you want a very, very soft boil. And that way, it gives time for the chicken to boil. You put the chicken in there. It's all rinsed and washed thoroughly. Put the whole chicken in there. Bring back to a soft boil with the chicken in there. I add 3 heaping tablespoons of Rustic Italiano Instant Gourmet brand Italian seasoning. It is marvelous. Simmer that 190 degrees until the chicken is done. And you'll never be sorry. There we go. Let's get out of here. There we go. That's my resume. That's at the bottom of the page. There you go. 26,417,581 visitors. That includes me, because I'm here. Now, if I do this, if I hit this recycled thing here to reload the page, as if I'm coming in for the first time, it says 582. That keeps counting. 26 million visitor page visits. That's unbelievable. I got my copyright updated to 2024. How about that? Did that myself. This site's complicated. There's a lot going on here. So now I'm back to my home page. See, lots of things you can see here. Public and civic events. We've got, the recent St. Patrick's Day Parade. Look at this. Isn't that cute? I mean, these guys just walking down the street. You know, they all know each other. And they dress up, you know. And I said, hey, take a look over this way. I was walking right with them in the parade. Delray Beach, the land of the pretty people. So, you know, this is 2015. This is 2014. This is 2016. 2018. 2017. There's Marilyn. She looks like she's, you know, she's working the parade. There she is. You know, I got the grading down below. You can see it's in focus. Got her in focus. She got a press pass on, you know, which gets us out on the street, you know, from around the barriers. And Marilyn's got her super duper zoom lens on there in zoom mode. She's got her watch. She got her green armband. She is Irish. There you go. This is the part of the parade I love the best. The playing of the bagpipes. There we go. You hear it? I think you can hear it. This is my favorite part of the parade. I have a directional microphone, so depending on which way I aim the camera depends on where sound comes in. Southwest Florida. Guns and hoses, pipes and drums. I mean, this is a big deal for these people. They practice. It's not easy to blow these pipes. You gotta hold it in a certain way. Obviously. Gotta have the mustache. I mean, these are thoroughbred pipesmen. It's great. Anyway, I had to share that with you. Yeah, it was St. Patrick's Day a little while ago. Anyway, so there we go. I can get that back. So anyway, so we got 736 miles on the. Your phone is your key. It's amazing. I mean, you have your phone in your pocket, or in your hand, or in your purse, in your briefcase, whatever. And as you approach your Tesla, it says, "Aha! Jimmy's coming. Let's get the seats ready." And you just open up the car door. It automatically unlocks itself. You just open up the door and sit down. The seats are all ready for you. It knows Marilyn comes in the other side, let's say, the passenger side, if she happens to be accompanying me. And the car's all ready for you to just put your foot on the brake and put your seatbelt on and pop that sucker in reverse and back out of your parking space. if it requires backing up. And you just drive it. You don't start it. There's no button to start. It starts because you've got your phone as your key. You can put the phone anywhere you want. They have a little tray that's up between the seats, and you just lay your phone in there and it automatically charges your phone while you have it dropped in that little tray. Uses the underneath side of the phone electronics to charge the phone, and that's all built into the tray of the car. Since your phone is your key, they make it convenient so that the phone, in theory, you could turn the phone off, or it could run out of battery, and you're still going, you're still driving, everything's fine. But you'd have to use the card I have in my pocket to lock the car when you got out of the car, because your phone is off. It automatically locks the car when you get out if the phone is not off, for example. It's on like standby or whatever. You haven't closed out the Tesla app. You don't want to do that. You always want the Tesla app running in the background. So that way the car knows where you are at all times. But anyway, so if you get out of the car with your phone, theoretically, it's in your briefcase, let's say, when you get about 15, 20 steps away from the car, automatically locks itself, goes to standby. The Sentry is already set, so anyone gets near the car, the video cameras start recording whoever that is, in case they start diddling with your car. All 8 cameras get energized, or 6 of the 8 cameras get energized to keep track of who might be playing with your car in your absence, even though it's locked. They call that the Sentry mode, which I always have on. I've got 256 gigabyte little doodad, one of these, things that you this USB-A slides in and out. This happens to be a SanDisk, which you may be able to see if I can get it in focus. There it is, SanDisk. Ultra USB, super duper. This is 512 gigabytes inside this super thing. So I can transfer files between computers, let's say. This whole MacBook Air is controlling this whole studio arrangement. And yeah. Uh-oh, who's... We have competing music. What is that? Computer, stop. I forgot my computer listens to me behind me. So I don't know why it plays music every once in a while. Because there's a setting I probably misdid. I don't know whether you guys are shooters or whatever, but I have one of these. This is a Smith & Wesson special handgun. It's been out for a year, a few years. M&P 5.7. It's like a line of pistols that Smith & Wesson makes. It's got a threaded barrel. See the that thing that sticks out. That has a threading. You unscrew that, and you can put on something to reduce the flash when you shoot a gun, or you can put a silencer on there. I have a silencer. It's on my Smith & Wesson rifle. It's in a yellow bag behind me. Anyway, it's got a 5-inch barrel, holds 22 rounds, and
It's 1:30.
this shows all the specifications of the Smith & Wesson 5.7 by 28 semi-automatic pistol. It holds these nifty little bullets that are smaller in diameter than a 9mm, but a good bit longer. They're about 10 millimeters longer. You've probably seen a Glock handgun that says 9x19. That means it's 9 millimeter, gauge. That's what they call it. 9 caliber. And 19, which means it's 19 millimeters in length. But this is 28 in length, so it's smaller in diameter and a little longer. Nifty little piece of ammunition. And the clip holds 22 of those little guys. And the muzzle velocity is over 2,000 feet per second. So it has less kick, you shoot and it has a little kick back. It has less kick than a 9mm. But the muzzle velocity is twice the muzzle velocity because the bullet is a little more than half the weight. So velocity times weight is, inertia, energy, stopping power. That's looking straight down at the top of it. And you see these two screws right there, hexagonal. That plate comes off and you can put in a optical sight. There you go. See, there's an optical sight. EPS carry, which is a... see, here's the bullet. There you go. It's not as big as that looks, but that's an actual one. It's got a purple tip on it. They can be armor piercing because the velocity is so high. It's a small bullet and it travels 2,400 feet per second. So it gets to the target really fast. So you don't have this slow bullet that's affected by the gravitational force, and the bullet drops, over, 25, 50, 100 yards. These bullets shoot straight as an arrow because they're traveling so fast. 2,400 feet per second. That'd be neat if they could put that barrel in a 16.5-inch barrel and get that velocity up to 3,000 feet per second out of a carbine rifle. Woo! So you can have a pistol and a rifle with the same ammunition. That's the self-defense magic. I have a 9mm carbine rifle. It shoots the same ammunition as my pistol, as my Glocks. So you can have, and I have, like 400 or 500 rounds of super high speed 9mm ammunition. So when that comes out of a 16-inch carbine rifle, that thing is screaming. Matter of fact, I have my silencer screwed on the end of that rifle. You pull that rifle out, you look like you're ready to do some damage somewhere. Yeah, it looks pretty. Toys that boys have. That's a boy toy. Yep. All right. I'm just looking through these pictures and see, here's the 2nm that these companies are working. Apple design chip. You see the Apple. My computer here, I believe, is a 3nm. It's an M3 chip. So it's super, it's the fastest. Well, speak to me. There we go. Did I lose So I almost lost my direct connection. It went super loud on me. Oh, I was going to show you this picture the other day. This is a painting, and the interesting, I did a pic. When you're a kid, I'm a kid in college, right? So you have to take a couple years worth of English classes. There are 3 credit-hour classes. I had to take, I think, two years of English. That's 4 semesters. Well, in my sophomore year of English, they have you write, papers. You have to do a study about. You have to study something and write an article about something that you studied. Well, you know what I studied? The female human anatomy. As seen by the greatest artists of the world. So this looks like one of those paintings. This one is unsigned, apparently. And she's taking a bath in the Mediterranean Sea. I'm making that up. You see the water in the background. She's got a towel hanging around her leg there because she's leaning against some limestone. Nice blue background. But the interesting thing that you can notice through time is the shape of the human female anatomy, body, stomach size, breast size, what's considered beautiful of the time. Well, in the 500 years ago, I swear to God, I wrote an article about this when I was a sophomore in college, and I wasn't thinking, apparently, because my English professor was, a young lady, had a PhD degree in some kind of literary something. She was my English teacher, professor. I forget her name. Nice looking young lady, but irrelevant to my story. And so I did a study about the female body. We're not talking Playboy, I'm just being, this is an objective study, which was the topic of my writing. And I had a picture of the female body, like this maybe, on the cover of my paper. And the title was, written up there, the discovery of the female anatomy over time. So I studied, I did research to figure out, what people thought were attractive, 1,000 years ago, 900 years ago. I tried to fill in all the gaps, so I had a full 1,000-year history of what, because artists will, they didn't have cameras, so they didn't image that way. They imaged through the eyes of quality artists. And you can see by this artistry here, this is not a photograph, it is beautifully done. Her privates are covered up, so, it's not, these aren't dirty pictures. These are just attractive pictures of the female, she's coming out of taking a bath in the Mediterranean Sea. My guess is she's got that European look. But you can do, I did the research, and I looked at paintings that could be dated, within 100 years. And I had 4, 5, 6, 8 paintings that were carefully, researched and time stamped, so to speak, so that they would fill in over a a 1,500 year period of time or 1,000 year. I think it was 15 or 1,800 years I looked at. And the interesting thing about it is that through time, they liked, large breasts. No, they liked breasts just the size. The size of a half of a orange, let's say. And slightly fat tummies. Not these 19-inch waists. They liked the middle size of the woman to look just like this one. Just, fluffy around the middle. Not skinny. Just, and that was the pretty woman for 1,000 years. It was very consistent with a breast of that size, or maybe smaller, actually. This would be the top end, the large end of the breast size. This could have been maybe 400 years ago. But you get, 800 years ago, smaller breasts. And plumpish tummies. 32-inch, 34-inch waists. Not 19-inch waists, no. Because the pretty woman of those times was about child rearing and being able to mother healthy children. And skinny women wouldn't necessarily be able to take care of feeding their children. They didn't have formula back then. You had to feed the kid the natural way. So you wanted a woman that was a little slightly bit plump. So they had enough, energy in them, so to speak, fatty material, so that in case it was hard to come up with the food, because it's a hard winter or something, there'd be enough flesh associated with that woman, starting to, pardon my language here, I'm trying to be clean, so that they could feed the kid, breastfeeding through the winter. If that kid happened to give birth in December, and you're in the cold country, you're up in, very northern part of Italy. It gets cold up in the mountains if you're living up there. So you had to be able to survive in cold weather. And skinny people, it's harder for them to, survive in cold weather than people that have, nice natural fatty material. Insulate the internal organs from the cold, the winter cold. Anyway, so I can imagine I wrote a paper. I gave it to my English teacher, and she looks at me with this eye, looks at me in the face and says, "You got to be kidding me." She didn't say that, but that was the expression on her face. "You've got to be kidding." And I had exquisite detail in this paper. I wonder if I saved that paper. But, I got an A- on the paper. It wasn't an A+. It was an A-. It wasn't a B. It was an A- with a soft minus. Because she had, had some typos, back in those days. They didn't have, these electronic keyboards. You'd poke in the typewriter, and if you spelled something wrong, you had to, paint it out and then type another letter on top of the letter that was mistyped. Typo, so to speak. And anyway, I wrote the paper. It was interesting. I was glad I did that paper. Anyone that read that paper would be enlightened, because they would realize that in medieval times, the beautiful woman was a little, what we consider today, a little overweight. Today, the women are skinny, big breasts, 20-inch waist, 38-inch breasts, big fanny if possible. Yeah. But back in the medieval times, this is what the pretty woman was. If they had a Playboy magazine, this would be the imagery that would be on the cover of the Playboy magazine 800 years ago. That's what I learned. And you can look at it through the paintings, because the artists, crowd scenes, party scenes, that kind of scenery, sitting, whatever, leaning over, whatever kind of poses the artist has in the mind's eye of the artist. They decide what that body is going to look like, and they paint it. And it's, it's very, it's interesting through time how the pretty woman has, today is different than the pretty woman of 800 years ago. All right, here's a pretty woman. It's a Tesla Cybertruck, a Tesla truck. It had all those hard edges, and I finally got up close and personal with a real Tesla, plugged in, charging, and had a chat with the guy who was an interesting fellow that was a former employee of Tesla, actually. And he had Tesla stock, and he traded his Tesla stock for a Cybertruck, which costs, the new Cybertruck costs about $115,000. $120,000, somewhere there. For, the 3-motor design and the, you don't have a lot of choices. I actually haven't seen the choice, the menu of things that you can get on a Cybertruck. When you go for a, I can show you. There we go. We're going to Tesla.com on our super fragilistic. I'm just going to touch here. Tesla. Just hit Tesla right here. Oh, menu. Sorry. Vehicles. We want to look at Model Y. Let's order one. And I can show you. This is how you buy the car, or lease it. They give you $7,500 tax credit with this vehicle because of its price thingy. See, there's Model Y. You can get it April or May delivery. So the standard range is 260 mile range. You see it, 135 mile an hour design there. There we go. I can get you a full screen on that. So this is a touch screen, so I'm just going to touch, not performance, we're going long range. There we go. Jeez. Woo! 38,800. That's unbelievable. Oh, I want the price, not the probable savings. Price. Got to touch price up there. Here we go. $49,990. $49,990. They're going to give you the tax credit. Instead of you having to file back for it, they just give it to you when you buy the car. Well, you don't have to monkey around with all that. So it turns out to be $42,990 instead of $42,490, because it's a $7,500 tax credit. So now we select that long range. You see now the mileage went up to 310, maximum speed 135, 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. If you get the performance version, your range is 280, 279, top speed 155, 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. We don't want that. Let's just go long range. That way I get the 310 mile range. Then we can go through and pick colors. Let's pick black. Solid black. I can touch red. Yeah, it's beautiful red color, but Marilyn's afraid she'd get tired of red. That's a beautiful color, but black is beautiful. And then you can, we'll stick with the wheels they give you, 18-inch. They're 19-inch wheels. Good-looking wheels. And we want white interior. We love the white interior. Marilyn particularly loves the white interior. 5-seat capacity is enough. We don't want to add an extra row of seats in the back. We're going to take the autopilot that comes with the car. We're not going to pay the extra money there. All right. So that is, there's nothing else to order on the car. You got 4 colors, black or white. You can get a tow hitch if you want it, you know. And that's, I'm looking here for how we end. We don't want that. Charging home, more accessories. All right, we get to continue. I was looking for the continue bar. All right, so review your order. Let's do that. They found a car just like that in Delray Beach that they have in the dealer service center, brand new one. If you just want to go get it instead of having it ordered and delivered, or you pick it up. So if you want to lease the car, we can customize the payment. So 36-month lease, we're going to make that $1,400. Oops, that's as low as you can go. I understand. You got to pay at least a destination fee when you order the car. If you're going to lease it. So you see now it says $1,400 down, 36-month lease. It includes the $7,500 tax, incentive thing. And what do you got? You got, I can see down at the very bottom, the lease payment's $400 a month. That's unbelievable. Plus sales tax. If you're going to pay cash for the car, see your design. Let's see, where's the little button here? Show details. Look at that. They're giving you the $7,500 tax credit, and the price adjustment is $5,300. Price adjustment. So I got $3,000 worth of extras, but they're giving me a $5,300 price adjustment. So that brings the price of the car down to $47,600. And when they calculate the lease payment, they're going to take $200 off a month, because if you divide $7,500 by 36, you got about 208. So I'm just rounding. It takes $200 a month off your lease. Hit lease, it automatically computes the fact that they're giving you the tax credit. And your lease payment is roughly $464 a month. Customized, let's see. Let's come up here. There we go. Include taxes and stuff. There we go. So now we can see all the details. And look at that, $5,300 price adjustment. So they're pushing these cars out. They're trying to make them so that, look at that, the price of your vehicle is $47,690. And you know what the average, you can go to the United States Car Owners Association, these associations, of car dealers. Question is, what's the average price of all new car sales? You know what it is? It's about $47,500 a car. And look what the Tesla is. $47,690. So that's how they come up. I'm guessing now. But I'll bet you dollars to donuts. That's how they came up with a $5,300 price adjustment, because they're bringing in that car at what exactly the average price of a new car is this year. It's under 48,000, and it's over 47,000. So let's just say 47.5. I have an article somewhere I can show you. Let's see if I can see it real quick. I have there's a story. White collar crime. Let's get down here. No, this is the phone story. Anyway, you can look it up. I have it. Maybe I can find it some other day, but it's around 47.5. I just read it today, so it should be in one of these articles. Anyway, we're listening to Epidemic on paging through these robo-taxi stories. Yeah. Yep. Anyway, I wish you have a great afternoon. I have to run off now. I've been talking for an hour and 26 minutes, and that's enough. Stop talking. I'll put up my thing. I'll give you about 20 or 30 seconds of Epidemic, and I'll be quiet. Have a great weekend. Watch the Masters.